then we will discuss what is this corporate governance, right. So, we identified the role of auditing and the agency problem. Like we know that people who are controlling the business is not the same as their owners, right. So, we have shareholders, and shareholders have appointed board of directors to govern and control and perform the particular company. So, board of directors are the people who are controlling the company, and they are responsible in achieving the goals and objectives which have been assigned to them, right. So, in operating like this, and since these owners and the agents are different, so you need to make sure basically the owner is to make sure that his agents are doing a proper job. They are conducting their activities for the benefit of the company as well as for the better interest of the owners, right. So, for that, to manage and govern well, right. So, we have to have a framework. We call that framework as the governance framework, right. So, basically it says it is a system by which companies are directed and controlled, right. So, this framework will give us a direction of where we are heading and how it is being monitored and controlled in terms of their activities, right. So, basically in the governance framework we can identify four key factors, right, in the page number 11, right. First one is structure, right, then oversight, responsibility, right, then the infrastructure, and the talent and culture. So, broadly we are speaking of corporate governance, right. So, we have these four components, right. Right. So, in terms of the structure, it basically contains of the organization hierarchy levels, like what are the organization structure, like you have board of directors, then you have the delegation of authority, like you will have different types of structural framework. So, this structure should be very much important in terms of a corporate governance or organization governance framework. And basically in these structures we can identify a few sub items like ORG structure, right. Then we can identify the reporting structure, then the committees, then structure of the committees, right. So, likewise we have to have a structure of governing organization, in terms of doing that, there are sometimes there are different committees we need to appoint, right? In the governance framework in Sri Lanka, like they have specifically mentioned that you have to have a audit committee, you have to have a remuneration committee, right, to manage the risk, right, manage the remuneration of your board of directors, likewise. So there are different committees, and in those committees there are different types of combinations you need to have, like there should be a minimum number of directors, executive directors, non-executive directors and independent non-executive directors, right. So there should be some combination to avoid the biasness and make sure the decisions are being taken in a very independent manner and for the best interest of the company, right. So the structure of reporting, the committees, all the structure of these committees, right, this comes under this structure, yeah, right. Then the oversight responsibility, right. So oversight responsibility means that what are the authority levels and what are the responsibilities of all of these structured committees in order to govern the organization, right. So mainly we can identify the board oversight and responsibilities, management accountability and authority, and the authority and responsibility of committees. So basically the duties of these committees can be identified in this section, right. Duties and responsibilities of the board of directors and committees, right. In the infrastructure we can mainly identify the, like what are the technology, right, methodology, right, communication. So likewise, how this framework in terms of communicating, how it is being communicated to the employees and the committees and the board of directors. So you have to have some kind of technology, some kind of a system, some kind of IT system, some kind of method in communicate all these reportings, decisions, like responsibility, duties, all these things you need to be clearly communicated. So this communication is also very important because that is where all your company stakeholders know that you are being governed in a proper framework, right. So therefore for a better governance framework, communication and this infrastructure facilities are very much important, right. And finally the talents and culture. So here you need to have a good rewarding system, right, your company culture, rewarding system, right, performance management, yeah. So you need to make sure that once you have duties and responsibilities, you will be assigned, your employees will be assigned goals and objectives, right. You have to have a good performance management or performance management system to identify how employees are progressing and achieving these goals and objectives, and once if they achieve that, what benefit we could offer to them. A reward system, a good reward system linked with the performance management would be the ideal governance framework, where then your employees will be motivated to achieve the objectives and goals, as well as they will be rewarded. So therefore they will retain in the company. So you have to have good performance management and good talent mechanism, right. So those are the key elements of this governance framework, right. So this is the basic fundamentals. So after that, we'll identify what are these roles of these committees, what are the roles, what are the committees you need to have in your organization in order to make sure that you will be performing a good governance framework, right? All these things we will discuss, right? So I hope you got a basic idea regarding this governance framework key elements.